Welcome back, everybody. It's your Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's T-Zeal, your 24-year-old California lawyer. This episode of Lawyer Take, episode 5, will be on Akil Pollard. Wait, who the fuck is... Who is Akil Pollard? Do you guys know who that is? Akil... Oh, Bobby Shmurda. Okay, so this episode will be on Bobby Shmurda. So let's get right into it. Bobby Shmurda was sentenced to 7 years behind bars in 2016. He wasn't the only one that was sentenced for this crime. He pleaded guilty to third-degree conspiracy and weapons possession. So his parole hearing is to be held actually in coming weeks. It was scheduled for August 2020. If his parole is approved, Bobby Shmurda will actually be released on December 11th. So we will be seeing him fairly shortly. Another associate of his was actually sentenced too, and the only reason I'm mentioning this associate is because it kind of ties heavily into Bobby Shmurda's story and why he's not out yet. His fellow rapper named Rowdy Rebel, along with other people like I mentioned associated with Bobby Shmurda, were also part of the same case and got incarcerated for the same causes. Rowdy was originally offered 12 years, while Bobby was only being offered 5 years. But being who he is, Bobby Shmurda kind of worked out a deal with the prosecutors, and he decided to add 2 years to his own sentence, so his fellow friend slash rapper could get 7 years. So essentially Bobby took on 2 years himself just so his friend could get 5 years less than he would have otherwise. And most people maybe would have been selfish in the situation. Maybe when you're thinking about being behind bars, being away from family, friends, the lifestyle you live, your social life, everything, social media, everything you're giving up, I think most people probably would not have accepted more time just so somebody could get less. That alone shows a lot about Bobby Shmurda's character and who he is as a person. So he was arrested in 2014. All of us know his hit song, which was number 6 at the time on Billboard charts, which is huge. So he kind of went out while he was on top. Some may consider him a one-hit wonder. Others may not, but I think we all could recognize that, having a top hit within the top 10 of Billboard charts is pretty monumental. A lot of people probably don't reach that at all, and he kind of hit that and then, was arrested, and he didn't get to kind of ride the wave of everything that would have come out of him having a hit song like that. All the features, all the other songs he could have made himself, stuff like that. And I think that's very important to actually recognize as well. Presumably, if he did get out early, he could have spent more time with his family, more time with his friends, going out. He could have made more hit songs for all we know. He could have been featured on more songs with other hot artists that weren't around in 2014 when he kind of got arrested, I believe. So a lot has happened since then. I know a lot of artists like to work with people that are fresh out of jail and whatnot. So he gave up a lot just for his friend, and he took on 2 additional years. The bond was set at $2 million, and his record label could not afford that much money. There was delays in hearings and whatnot, and it seemed like Bobby Shmurda was not going to take the plea deal. But he ended up taking it anyways, and this is a statement he had. He said, "If we made bail, I would have beat the case. We look guilty in these orange jumpsuits. If you put Al Sharpton in an orange jumpsuit and accuse him of having a gun, he's going to be found guilty. They just look at our skin color and look where we're from. I didn't get caught with anything on me, and the cops lied, saying they seen me with a gun in my hand. I explained the whole situation to Epic, which is his record label, and they were behind me all the way. We had big money lawyers and they still couldn't do nothing because of the judge, who looked at us like black thugs. I think this is an interesting statement for various reasons. One is the racial tension, I think, which all of us are accustomed to at this point, unfortunately, and everything that happened in recent times. I think this kind of really reflects on that racial tension that exists. He says the cops lied, so we have to take it with a grain of salt. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. If it is true, then it really does reflect on society in the past month or so with everything going on. Another point to make is the fact that he felt like the judge was being unreasonable, and they had big money lawyers and they couldn't do anything. So that kind of goes to show you multiple things. Lawyers kind of try their best to advocate for their clients, but there is only so much they could do at the end of the day. It's not like it's all about persuasion. It's not like at the end of the day they're making the decision. They're only being persuasive, whether it's to a judge or a jury. He says they had big money lawyers, so I'm assuming that they got really expensive lawyers for this deal with great experience. And that just goes to show you that at the end of the day, judge or jury makes the decision. Here the judge did, and he felt like the judge was being discriminatory, which I won't necessarily comment on. It could be true, it could not be true. From what I recall, bond is basically set based on certain factors, like the risk of a flight risk, essentially, of you taking off and like leaving the country and maybe never showing up. It takes into account how much money you have. They're not gonna set the bail at $10, which is ridiculously low anyways. If they know that you're a millionaire, they kind of take into account, generally speaking, what you might do if you do post bond. Whether you're gonna appear is basically the idea. Whether you might actually commit crimes while you're away, especially if you like committed a murder or something like that. They don't want a murderer on the loose.
6 hours later.
I'm not sure why the bond was set to $2 million in this situation. I'm sure one of the factors they did take into consideration was the fact that there was a lot of money laying around. I'm guessing, we're looking at rappers, we're looking at, this record label. So I'm sure money played a big part. If they were a lot poorer, the bond would not be set at $2 million. He's guilty of third-degree conspiracy and weapons possession. So I'm not necessarily sure exactly what that entails, but it seems like maybe risk to like society played a part in this too. If you let Bobby Shmurda make bail, then who knows what he might do, what other crimes might be committed. In terms of whether justice was served here, it really depends on the evidence. If he's actually right and the cop was lying, then clearly justice was not served. He spent 5 years in jail. I'm not sure what the evidence was against his friend Rowdy Rebel, but Bobby Shmurda willingly took the extra 2 years just so his friend could get less years. So whether there was enough evidence or not for that 5 years is kind of questionable. What most likely would have happened was if he didn't plead guilty, the sentence would have been longer. So it kind of goes in different directions. It really just depends on what the evidence was. If there was no evidence and the cop was lying, justice was not served. If the opposite is true, then getting 5 years and taking an optional 2 on top of that for your friend doesn't seem as bad as it could be if you went to trial. So another point to make, which most of you might not know about, is why they have these plea deals, plea bargains, is basically to account for the fact that there is so many cases running through the system that hearing every single one would take forever. As trials kind of span out over a long period of time anyways, because the system is clogged with so many cases. So the easiest way out is essentially by offering plea bargains or plea deals. So the prosecutors kind of put these on the table, and if the person accepts, it kind of frees up the system a little bit, so other cases could be heard that are taken to trial and stuff. And yeah, that's why plea bargains exist. It saves everybody time at the end of the day. If you are guilty, you might as well probably just take a plea deal. You're probably gonna get less time for what you actually committed, and it saves your time, it saves everybody else's time, everything kind of runs faster. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you all for watching. Please check out my merch. I'm actually wearing it right now. It says T-Zeal in the front. This is the hunter green color, and there is a butterfly on the back. The other ones is a bull, and I have also a panda. But yeah, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out my merch. Triumph, your dreams await.